Hey guys, it's your girl Simona So Dope. Hope your day is going great. So let me just hop right into it. 2 years ago from today, I actually got out of the military. So today would be my 2 year anniversary since I've been out, or at least since I ended my active duty service. After getting out of the military, I decided to stay where I was last stationed, which was Los Angeles, and I still live here right now. I'm originally from Miami, Florida, but I'll get back into that. So I just really wanted to make this video just to kind of tell you guys the guide or the path that I went on after my military service. Even when I first went into the military, I knew that I wanted to go to school. That was my first priority. So prior to getting out, like my last month of school or my last month in, I started taking classes in San Diego because I knew that that's where I wanted to live at. So I literally set everything up so that my disability was already going to be in the works, made sure that everything, like I really had to, a lot of forward thinking, but I made sure that my place was secured. I made sure that was going to be my house in San Diego before I got out, and make sure that I knew where I was going to be moving into. I'm going to be going to a new school, in a new area. I don't know anybody in California. Like I was stationed here, but I am not from here. Like I'm from the East Coast. So you go, and I was doing modeling for a little bit there. I realized that it wasn't really working, and the people, like the weather there is really cool, but I don't know, it just wasn't the vibe that I was going for. So I decided to go to LA, and this is where I live at now. And I have been in LA for almost a year now. So I literally spent one whole year in San Diego and one whole year here in LA. And I'm going to be moving back to the East Coast. But I basically have just been going to school full time. Since COVID happened, I stopped going to school. And this for me, so this is the other part about getting out of the military. Because I've always been so goal oriented. Like I've always stuck to my schedule. Like I have to like write everything down. Like I'm a very visual person, but I'm very goal oriented, and I know that about myself. So when I stopped going to school, that really took a lot of structure out of, like, even being out of the military takes a lot of structure out of your life. And so that's the other part of it, like just adjusting, because especially being a woman, so this is just based on my own personal experience, but I'm sure a lot of veterans go through the same thing. Like being a woman in a male dominated like culture for so long. Like I was in the Marine Corps for 4 years, and at that time the Marine Corps was 7% females. Like there is not a lot of us. The fewer the prouder, but there wasn't a lot of us. So it was totally males. And so now being back into civilization, I'm not like most females my age, or most women just in general. They don't have that same thing that I do. And so it's already harder for me to be able to connect to people, just because I have like that. And I'm not from here. I'm from the East Coast. Like I'm on the West Coast now, but not saying that, I mean, everything, it all comes into account. But making friends for me has probably been the hardest thing. Like in school was a little bit easier because it's very social. Like I'm gonna be in the classroom, I'm gonna be talking to people, but especially now it's a little bit different. But just since I've been out in general, like making friends has been harder. Being able to just like the everyday, like especially with so much that's going on, like I feel like my life was just so like the lifestyle, I was so wrapped in the lifestyle. Obviously, like that was my life. But now, being that I'm out, just to see how things are, because when I was I'm 18, like racism, honestly, in Miami, it was different. Like it's a melting pot. There's so many different people. I really did not experience a lot of racism growing up. I didn't. But it wasn't until I'm out here and, I'm out of the military, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't, like that. It's what I look like right now. The next part that I really wanted to talk about, that is kind of something that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about, is I said making friends, but that camaraderie, like you miss that. And that's the part that I really miss about the military, is just being able to talk to somebody. If I need to hit somebody up, like they're gonna have my back, like out here, people don't give a fuck. Like, or people do not care. They don't really care about you. And it's like, I could actually be homeless right now. And like, if I just didn't tell, like, and that part of it, like that part is scary, because like now, I'm in the real world. Like now shit just got real. Like, okay, like, I have to pay my bills. Like I mean, not that I wasn't paying my bills before, but it's just, it's like you really have to put on your big girl shoes, like, or big boy pants or whatever. Like you have to, being that I was in the Marine Corps, there's like, socially, the biggest difference is that now, like, I'm trying to connect more with women, and trying to, like, even the way that I talk and my mannerisms, those are still things that I'm working on. I still cuss a lot. And that's not taking anything away from me. Like, and I don't know, like right now I'm not going to cuss because I'm obviously on YouTube, and so I'm not going to do that. But in my regular conversations, like, yeah, I do. And that sets me apart. Like I already, especially being out here in California, like I already kind of look different. There's not a lot of, that's just a whole nother video. But being out here in California, it's just that part has been hard. Just to be able to make friends, being able to connect with other women, being able to put myself out there, especially in a place that I've never lived before, a place that I'm not from, a place that I don't have family and friends already set up, like. But I'm actually planning on moving back home, which is something that I've been wanting, something that, I wanted to take a chance. And that was my whole thing about getting out of the military. Like I wanted to take a chance to see what other things are out there, what things are really into my calling. And so I'm glad that I got out. I'm grateful for my service. I got out honorably. But I am happy to be discovering this part of myself. And I think that that's something that's really difficult, is because, I was 18 when I joined, and from being a child to being 18, like I was living at home with my mom. There was 4 months in between, like my summer vacation right before boot camp. But, I only had those 18-year-old thoughts and my 18-year-old self. Like that was my world. And I only knew Miami. That's where I was from. That's where I was born, raised. Like I went and I traveled to other places, but I'd never been anywhere more than a month, So that was just different. Like that's a whole different, and then going straight into the military, like then I'm just going into that lifestyle, and then I get out and now I'm in LA. Okay, LA is so different from Miami, and like being an adult, I'm like, oh yeah, I can do whatever I want. Like, okay, I could do whatever I want. Like I'm in this place, like in this foreign place by myself, and so that has been a thing. The next thing that the next topic that I wanted. So making friends has been a little bit of a bump in the road. The next thing would probably be school. So for me, school is, it was kind of difficult. Like so in July, or this last June, that was my first, this is my first time that I've taken off since I even started school. So I've been out of school. It's October or September right now. So I've been out of school for a few months. And this is honestly the first break that I've gotten since I've gotten out. The first break. And that is crazy. That's crazy that it took for COVID for me to get a break. And the only reason why I'm not going to school right now is because it's all online. And I can't do a only online thing. Like, it just doesn't work for me. So I've been able to have this time to get to know myself and to know what things that I like and to know what things I enjoy, and, you know, to find my hobbies and my passion and to find myself. Because when you're working and when you are doing so much and you're staying busy all the time and you're only focused on that one thing or those set of things, like that could be whether you're in school, you're getting a degree, like you're only focusing in school, you're only focusing on your classes, your education is your main goal. For me in the military, when I was in, work was my life. Like, I was promoted to sergeant before I got out. I was promoted to sergeant in June and I got out in October. Like, I got right before it, so it was like, that was even amazing. I was able to get the rank of sergeant before, but that was because of that lifestyle, and that's how much time and commitment that I put in towards it. And so now it's like, okay, I have to be able to have that same drive, but put that into myself, put that same amount of effort and that same work into myself. And that's something that I am still working on. I mean, every day I notice that vlogging is something that I really do like doing. I love to talk about sharing my stories. I love listening to people talk. Like, I'm going to school for communications. So those are just some of the things that those are the biggest things. Anything else? I guess definitely socially is probably the biggest disconnect for me. And then physically, so I'm also a disabled veteran, saying that, physically, bro, I'm 24. Like, and the thing is, I'm an admin Marine, or I'm an administrative Marine. Like, I was a paper pusher, like pen, like on the computer, whatever. Like, that's what I did. But I still, like, I really did get injured. And now I'm 24. I have trouble, like, if I'm standing up for too long or if I'm sitting down for too long, my back is done. Like, it's actually done. And so I'm like, dude, like, that's crazy. That's crazy because how, you know, being so young, I'm like, damn, like, how is this gonna feel in 20 years from now? Look, I get up and it's like so that part, and just being able to go to physical therapy, staying active and literally making myself not be depressed, like doing things to get myself out of that, because it's so easy to get wrapped up in it. And you know, for a long time, that was something that I was struggling with. So physically, mentally, and spiritually, because, you know, you start to feel like you really did lose a part of yourself, because that is my person. Like, being a Marine is a part of my personality. Anytime I talk to somebody, like, when I talk, you're gonna hear what I'm saying. Like, you're about to hear me, you know, because, and that's something that I picked up on. That's a skill that I acquired through being in. And I'm so thankful for my service, and I'm so grateful for the leaders that I had and all of the, just everything. I am grateful, and I'm very thankful for that. But, you know, would I go back in? Probably. I don't know. So I made a promise to myself that by the time I am 28, and this is like something that before I even got out, like I was like, okay, this is a real thing. If by the age of 28, if I'm not where I thought I was going to be in my life, and so those are just like my own things, like if I'm not at that stage or at that point in my life, then I will go back in. I will. It wasn't horrible. It's just like, it's time consuming. It's just your whole life on the line. Like, yeah, it just takes a lot of you, and I'm pretty sure it ages you too, but thank God, like, your girl's aging gracefully. But I don't know if anybody has any questions. I also want to make a video probably about my boot camp experience, and probably and definitely what it's like being in LA. But if you made it this far in the video, make sure you guys make sure you guys subscribe, comment, all of that. If you guys have any questions, if you guys just want to reach out, so tell me you like it. If you don't like it, just don't say anything. But I will tune in with you guys next time. Have a beautiful day and take care. All love.